guys, Z here from Virginia Grace Living. So today I'm going to be putting up some trellises and supporting my tomatoes with the Florida Weave. If you're not familiar with that, I've done a couple of videos talking about it before, but I'll show you how I'm going to do it today. So we're going to be putting up supports for our tomatoes, green beans, cucumbers, and I think that's it. So tomatoes, green beans, and cucumbers. So I'll show you the type of trellis I'll use for the green beans and cucumbers, and then I'll show you how I do the Florida Weave. But first I got to get some more T-posts in the ground to be the intermediate posts between the poles I already have in. So I went to Tractor Supply and picked up some more T-posts. You just really can never have enough T-posts around the farm or homestead, and that just seems to be always the case. I'm always needing more. So I wish they were cheaper like they used to be, but that's a different discussion. So anyhow, let's get these T-posts. Got 10 of them right here. Hopefully it's enough. We're gonna go ahead and start putting some out. All right, so I've got I think I got all my T-posts up that I need to have up. Now I gotta start running the trellis. So you may have seen my neighbor with this tractor dumping off some compost in my other plot back here. Very kind of them. They're giving me a couple tractor scoops of compost. And I'll be using that in that plot and see how that does. But anyhow, so let's go get the trellis netting and start hooking that up. All right, so this is what I use for my cucumbers and my climbing stuff, like my green beans and everything. And I've used this stuff for a couple of years. You may have seen on some of my older videos. If you haven't, you can check those out. But let's get this put up for the green beans and the cucumbers out here. So I just use zip ties for this stuff right here. So we'll get this put up and zip tied to the post. It's super easy and it works really good. Hey, good morning guys. So I have not finished up yet. I'm gonna finish this morning on doing the trellising and the tomato Florida Weave. Right now we're gonna go ahead and feed the animals and then we'll get started on working on that stuff. Hey pigs! Hey pigs! All right, now that we got the animals fed, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the garden and getting the trellises finished up. So I have about 1.5 set up over here. They're 60 foot, the ones that I got, and I have 40-foot rows. So I was able to do a 40-foot and then about half of that section. And so I need to do my other middle one, and then I'll have about half left over, hopefully, to finish that up. If not, I'm gonna have to buy more trellis netting. But anyhow, we're gonna finish getting this netting up. You can see it's fairly simple to set up. The hardest part is getting it untangled sometimes out of the bag. But after that, you just kind of use zip ties and make it as tight as you want. Don't go too tight because you might end up ripping it or something, but you want it to be tight enough that it can support some plants. Okay, so apparently my dogs, I mistakenly left this out yesterday. My dogs got a hold of this and tangled it the heck up in my other garden plot with all these little roots in here. So there's roots and everything else tangled in here. I can barely get it untangled, so I'm gonna have to mess with that and finish that up later, either that or order just another netting, but you get the idea. So this is what it looks like. So I have my green beans down there, and then on this one I have my cucumbers, and they'll start climbing up the trellis. So you can see all my little cucumber plants along this row here, and over here I've got my green beans that will start to put out the tendrils and start to climb up this. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and get my tomatoes supported up. They're probably past due for another string to support them. For example, this plant right here is just kind of all hanging over, so I need to get some more string along this row, and I'm going to show you how I weave it. We'll start out right here. I have my box of agricultural twine, tomato twine. You can find this on Amazon. I recommend it highly. It's really good for tight applications where you're using it like with tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is I have a little PVC pipe. I threaded this through and tie it to my post. And then we're just going to kind of work this in between the plants and weave it through. So you can see some of these plants are going to need a little extra help, like this one. Come through, help get them back supported up. But the key is to weave your string tight, and you'll be good to go. So let's do the other two rows. Alright guys, that's pretty much all there is to the Florida weave. Now I will most likely have to add a new string just about every week as we get into this growing season. Tomatoes grow super fast, so want to keep on top of that. The key tips are make sure you have enough T-posts. I have one in the middle to keep it tight, and then two on the end. So you may need to add more. Some people would add more even here, but T-posts are getting expensive, so I'm trying to use the least amount that I have to. But yeah, so that's why I like to do that. So I don't like to buy tomato cages. They kind of aren't really, the ones that you normally get at the store are very puny and small, and then bigger ones are more expensive. So this is a nice way to be able to support your tomatoes without having to buy a bunch of tomato cages. But anyhow, that's pretty much all I have for the supporting of the plants, or setting up different supports for your plants. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you don't mind, share the video. That'll help me a great deal with growing the channel. As always guys, thanks for watching, and God bless.